Howdy, I'm Matt, and in this episode for you we have the unboxing of a Focke-Wulf 190. Now this is a very quaint and very cute model, I hope. Now give you a heads up, it's still sealed here in the box, so we'll take a look in a moment. I bought this one on Banggood a short while ago for $43, which I don't think is coming out on the iPad. Yeah, $44 plus a couple shipping. It looks like a little cute one, to say the least. It's only a little ditty one. It's got a wingspan of 680 millimeters, which is tiny. So we're going to find out what this one is like. So before we go any further, as we always go through, this model was bought out of my own money for my own abuses. I've got another little Focke-Wulf over there on the wall, which is the Focke-Wulf 190, which is made by, it's a Fun Fighter series. Corking little model, no real bad traits to say the least, and very enjoyable. Is this one going to be anything like it? Because this one is about half the price of that one over there. And again, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner for you to the Focke-Wulf, the other Focke-Wulf which I'm talking about, and I'll put links and details in the video description for you. So let's go and get this one open. Now it's literally just been and arrived. The box is in relatively good shape. Considering it's come all the way from China or Thailand, one of the two places. If we go and get this one up and get this one opened up and get in there and have a look. Now I've got the camera set up slightly different today, so we've got a top down look instead of looking at my ugly face. So it's different layout than normal. That was minging to say the least. The wing is in one piece. Now, do note, this is EPS foam, not EPO or EPP. Now, if you don't know what your foams are, we'll do a quick 101. Right, let me grab a wing bed from down there. This stuff, in fact, why not just go and zoom in? Get it the right way around, we'll zoom in. Okay, so this is EPO foam, okay, and this is wire cut the EPP foam. Sorry, my bad for any confusion there. This is wire cut EPP foam. You'll see that the cells are in there, and it's a very tough, durable material. And you normally get these with either wire cut wings, or you can. We've started seeing them turning up on models like the AR Stealth Wing and the S800, where they've molded the EPP, and this stuff is super tough. So EPP foam, very tough. I'm down here looking for an EPO model. I'll find one in a moment. In fact, I'll grab a wing off the Mini Talon, because the Mini Talon is molded out of EPO foam. And apologies if you know what these foams are, but I'm just trying to put this into perspective. This is the wing of the Mini Talon. I'm sure you've come across this foam before. It's just the white moulded stuff. Again, durable to a degree, very lightweight, and what we're, as hobbyists, what we're most used to. The point where I'm going with this is because this model is made out of EPS. Now, EPS is a much smaller bubble of foam, okay? It can be compared to, like on basic terms, to be compared to maybe a polystyrene, for example. The thing about EPS is that it's a very lightweight material. It's a fantastic material to make smaller models out of, and do note this is definitely classed as a smaller model. Is that it's perfect for smaller models, but keep in the back of your mind, it is a fragile foam. When it breaks, is that it goes out into snow. Okay, that's the easiest way of explaining it. If you ever stuff one of these models in, it's normally a very clean break, and you get a snow, which is all the little bubbles coming out. Is it a good material to make model airplanes out of? Well, yeah, because it's light, it's semi-durable. No way as durable as EPO or EPP foam, but even still, it's still pretty good, okay? But just be aware, this is probably a one landing special model, okay? So I'm already going to say this is going to suit a more experienced pilot. So if you're thinking this is for maybe your first RC model, no, not really. This is more of your second or third. To be brutally honest, again, I don't want you to go and waste your money on a model like this and end up being sad that you've stuffed it in and it broke into a million pieces. Is that you will need some flying experience to go with this model. Now, I did buy the kit version. I don't know if they're going to bring out a plug-and-play kit version. I doubt it, to be honest. The suggested motor, again, the suggested motor and the motor which I end up putting here are probably two different things. But the suggested motor is a 2730 2000 kV Outrunner brushless with a 12 amp ESC. So yeah, not a big motor, not a fast motor, but it'll be an enjoyable motor to fly a little bit of scale. Now, to be honest, I'm not really into... Alright, I couldn't tell you when the Focke-Wulf, when the Germans made the Focke-Wulf and what its purpose was, or when it was in service, and what its good points were, what its bad points is. All I know is that I like the look of the model. Okay, I'm not a big like airplane aficionado or whatever you want to call it. I just like the look of it. Now I've just noticed there's some bits here rolling around in the bottom of the box. So let's go and fish those out, because Matt was just about to load the box on the opposite side of the room, and we don't want that. So I'm just going to put those over there. It looks like we got decent servo horns. I think we got a... Don't know what that's for. We'll find out in a moment. Again, some bits have come out of the bag. Just checking the bag. Horrible bit of what should we call it? Bubble wrap. Really disgusting, to say the least. But yeah, I think that's all the bits out of the box, so we'll get those out of the way. We do have two long. Right. It looks like what we've got here. Yeah, we've got two long push rods for the elevator and the rudder. Yeah, we've got a rudder in here. But what we've got here, and let me zoom in so you can see this, and so if you ever stumble across this, you know instantly when you see it, is when you see things like this, let me go and get the zooms right in, see this, you may have mistaken it as a control rod, but actually it is a control rod, but it's on a funny angle because this gets put down, you only have one servo controlling each elevon, and that's how they work. And the giveaway is that you always get two bits of plastic tube in the middle, and then you know that's what you've got. So that's what I'm expecting in the wing when we take a look at that in a moment. We do have a bit of perspex. I'm guessing there's a great big nut in there. The only reason why I can think we've got a great big nut is, and there was no manual in the box either, is because we need extra weight in the nose. The biggest thing about scale models, the biggest issue about scale models is that if you think back to, say, the Spitfire, for example, is that, well, if we look here, we've got the CG will be about here, and we've only got this much weight, this much model to lever out on that point. And that's the thing, in the, like, to use the Spitfire example, we had a great big Merlin engine, and if you've ever seen the size of a Merlin engine, it's like, whoa, look at the size of that. It's massive. So you understand why what I class as being short fused is because they were putting humongous engines in the front of these things. However, for an RC modeler, that is a bit of an issue because if our balance point is there, we need a lot of weight in the nose to balance out the rest of this. It's just a straightforward lever, isn't it? So yeah, scale aircraft and RC aircraft, personally I think they should stick a bit extra in the nose, because then you're not having to shed loads of weight in the nose when it's yeah, it's just a bit of a shame, to be honest, that they've not been and expanded that out. Now I reckon that lid is going to come off here somehow, and I've just seen there's some bits in there. Oh look, we do get a little nose cone. That's a nice little touch. Yeah, this, I may have poking it and pushing it, and I reckon it is going to come out. We got a funny little bit of plastic in there, I don't know why. Oh, that bit of plastic which we've got there, that perspex, that's got to be the firewall which fits in here. So I'm guessing, there we go, this model is going to come apart into two pieces with a little bit of coaxing. I've just got a metal splinter in my finger, and I got that off the model. Right, I'm here just trying to work out. Come on! Maybe I just need a bit. Just needed to be a little bit more forceful with it. Looks like they've stuck down. They have as well. How annoying is that? That top lid, that top cover, is actually stuck down. And I'll tell you what, while I'm picking this off, why don't we zoom in and we can have a quick look at the phone. Remember that EPP foam and the EPO foam? Look how small, there's the nib of a craft knife. Look how small those little pieces of polystyrene or EPS foam are. That's what EPS foam is. It's a very, very small, just very small bubble foam in short. So let's get the zoom back out again. Now, I do need to work out how I'm going to get this off. I want to get this apart, but not break it. So I don't know if it's just the, I think it all what's happened there, it's not glued. I think it's the paint on the outside. I think it's the paint which has sealed it up. So I'm just running the craft knife. I've got a brand new blade in here. I'm just running the craft knife down the edge to see if that will loosen it up. If not, we'll have to be a little bit more persuasive with it. Yeah, I think it's just, yeah, there you go, that's all it was. Look, just a tiny bit of paint, it just bled underneath, so no wonder it's stuck in there. Really nice paint job, you've got to give it to this one. It does look the nuts. Like I said, I'm not a big RC, like, I'm not a big plane aficionado. I just like the Focke-Wulf. I like the camo style on it, if I'm honest. I'm not in, you've already heard me mention that. I'm not a big fan of models and the histories behind it. I'm sure some of you are, and we'll put in the comment section below that this model was used between N and Y. But for me, it just looks pretty damn cool. So talking about cool, let's go and see about putting this thing semi-together. We do get some stickers, a couple of crosses, and some stripes, which are nice. Oh, we do get a screwdriver. We get some screws, a long bolt, and some Velcro, a token bit of Velcro, to be honest, and completely bloody useless. It's not going to hold a normal battery in. And I do need to have a look at that battery bay in a moment. Now, it didn't come with a stand. In the photos on Banggood, it did show that it came with a stand. We definitely did not get a stand in our box. So let's go and put this on again. It'll be a straightforward build. Yeah, really straightforward build to say the least. Just stick the pieces in the right places and off you toodles. Yeah, you don't really need a manual for this one at all. It kind of just sticks together. And again, this is why I just did the overview camera here, because it is so small. And I'll put the fin on it at a later date. And again, we got decent control horns on the Fun Fighter models. We had absolutely crappy ones. On here, look, you've got a control horn which actually goes through both sides of the surfaces and it's got screws in it. That is a nice touch, to say the least. And apologies for the camera wobbling, that's just me pushing on the spar to the left. So yeah, should be a super simple build. I can tell you this thing weighs absolutely nothing. In fact, why don't I've got the scales here to the left, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised on how light this thing really is. It is going to be super light. In fact, I probably yeah, I need to just keep that off the desk a bit. I'm just going to pop that on there. Right, clear down to 0, and we'll stick the surface on there. Right now, without a couple of the little metal pieces, 65 grams. 65 grams in weight. That's how much this thing weighs. In ounces, this is 2.4 ounces. There is no weight in this model. So if you were perhaps thinking of this model to maybe FPV it, which, let's face it, it would be pretty damn cool as FPV. Not very good in a windy day, let's be honest here. But it would look the nuts, and maybe those more engineering, or those who've got more time than whatever, you could put an FPV camera up there in the actual cockpit itself, is that you would definitely get below the 250 grams, because this thing weighing 60 grams. Again, let's just be fair, let's chuck all these other bits on here as well. Just shut that on there. Tell you what, put that on there. Let's see if we can get that to balance roughly on the top. Put that on the other side. We're out to 83 grams, 86 grams. So well below the 250 grams. And again, you need to add your own motor and stuff, but there's plenty of potential in there. 86 grams, if you think a battery and a small motor in the nose. Yeah, those of you which are looking to do some scale FPV and keep underneath the 250 grams, that would definitely be it, because this thing weighs absolutely nothing at all. What I think about it, the control surfaces, now I don't know which way round they go, so I'll have a quick punt. just poke that in there, probably wrong. What happens with these is that rod, yeah, it's the wrong way up, I've got it the wrong way round. In fact, I'll show you, let me zoom in so I can show you. Can you see the rod here, going across here, is that now when the servo moves this, is that it's going to move the surface, the aileron surface out on the wing. Yeah, really straightforward. One in fact, something I've just quickly noticed is that they've not cut the aileron surface, so you will need to get in here with a knife and then cut it free. And I'll do that after I've done this video, so I've got a little bit more time. One massive thing for you to note, because you've got the ailerons right out on the wingtips, you need very, very little movement. So when you're setting your RC kit up for a model like this, especially a small little Warbird, keep in the back of your mind, you only need very, very limited throws on your ailerons, because the ailerons are right on the wingtips. They're super effective, and I would hate for you to stuff it because maybe you launched the model on full rates, for example, and give this thing too much welly, is that it will just fly over on you, because you need very, very little movements. I would say no more, and I genuinely mean this, no more than 5mm up and down on the surface like that. Elevator, plenty of elevator. Who doesn't like doing a wicked sharp roll, loop with their model? I know that's my kind of flying style, but yeah, you can't have too much elevator in my book, but you can definitely have too much ailerons and would make it wild. So yeah, am I impressed? Let's put this back into perspective. Am I impressed so far for my $44? Let's pause for a moment to think about this. It's a cute little model. It's exceptionally well finished. The paint scheme on this is the nuts. Okay, really, really nice paint scheme. Again, it's a matte finish which they've got on there. I reckon that would take some laminate really, really well. I don't know if I'm going to laminate this one, I hasten to add, but I am thinking that it would take laminate really, really well. As far as build goes, I'm going to class this one like a 5 out of 10. And the reason why I'm going to class this out like a 5 out of 10, because you are going to be working with the model open in the beginning. You are going to need to put all your bits in, including sorting out the motor mount and whatnot. Yeah, because you're going to need to break this apart. You need to get your servos placed in. It's not as quick as some of the other models which we've had here. But that said, it is a good looking model. And I've just noticed oh, look at that. Nice touch. I'm going to zoom straight into that. Can you see that we've got some proper hinges here in the tail? Look at that, we've got proper hinges, so we're not relying on a foam hinge, we've actually got proper hinges. So that is, again, a nice touch. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to class it a 5 out of 10 for build requirements, just because you do need to get into the heart of it. It's not as simple as other models, say a flying wing, for example. But that said, it does look the nuts, and I do kind of like it. I'm just going to pop it there on the desk. Good finish at 10. Finish-wise, it's right up there. It's a good finish. I like it. That's the reason why I bought it, to be honest. Oh, I'll give you a heads up. I've also got a Hurricane version of the same, the same series. Both these models came out at the same time on Banggood. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, we've got a Hurricane Mark 1A, slightly bigger wingspan. I hope this is going to come out on the camera. So we've got a Hurricane on the way to us as well. Came out at the same time on Banggood. If you would like to see the unboxing of that one, don't forget to press the subscribe button underneath the video so you get notified when that one comes in. Again, I bought both of this one and the Focke-Wulf out of my own money, because I do kind of like these little Warbirds. I always thought that they were complete dirty little tip stallers, and that said, they might be a dirty little tip staller. We don't know just yet. So with that said, I think it's time for me to wrap up. If you have any questions about this little Focke-Wulf 190, it does look the part. We've got to give that. Decent components so far. It managed to survive the journey from the other side of the world here to myself in the United Kingdom, and I do kind of like what I'm seeing at the moment. The only negative, which I can point out right now, is that it is made out of EPS foam. As such, I cannot suggest this as like one of your first models which you own, because one landing and it will just turn into snow. That's not going to be a good experience for anybody. maybe a second or a third model, especially those of you looking for and you like Warbirds. Okay, again, I like Warbirds because they look pretty. Okay, I don't know what the history is behind them. I'm not like we mentioned earlier. I just like them because I like the way in which they look. They also fly normally okay as well. But with that said, we always hold off final judgment until we get the model in the sky. So if you'd like to see the maiden and maybe a build overview to this wing, underneath this video there's a red button which says subscribe, and by my name, Matthew Ogborn. I'm Matt, by the way. Howdy. Click that button. If you'd like to get notified, press the bell icon on the right hand side and YouTube will let you know. And yeah, we'll get this one up and running in the next couple of days. It's not a complex build. I'm just going to use a little bit of UHU Por. I've got a box full of servos here. Some of them will fit. It's not a complex one. It's, like I said, it's a 5 out of 10 for build requirements because you do need to know where the bit's going. It's not as simple as, say, a flying wing, which I mentioned earlier. So, with that said, any questions about this model, let me know in the comment section underneath this video. As always, from myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!